check if I have the to share the screen. Yeah, okay. I hope the screen is visible, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Meanwhile, so there's this chat section in the Zoom, as you all know. I'll just drop a message there. So if you have questions, you can drop it right there in the middle of the session also. So that like I can align with the questions and the thoughts you have. Okay. So Zaid, you can ping me if there's relevant questions, okay? Okay, let me share the screen. Um, so, so let's start with the topic. So before like going into the topic, I'll just tell you like what's the plan for today. So it'll be like very basic, like we will have around a 20 number of slides and then mostly the questions. So you can already put the questions if you have, or in throughout the session, you can put your questions. That is number two, and then we'll have a small details about Insight. And even after the program, if you have doubts, you can always contact Insight Career email. We will assist you. We have a team with us. We will assist you even after the sessions are over. Um, okay, so before diving into the topic, um, of IT, I would like to take 2-3 minutes to show like where the world is right now and where we are. Okay, so there is an interesting thing I always see this Voyager 1. So I hope at least a few of you know about this. This is a spacecraft that this was launched in 1977, like 50 years before. Maybe they started building 60 years before. So this is still traveling. Okay. I'm trying to tell the fascination about the technology and not only IT, the technology as a whole. So this is still traveling and this is still sending data to the world, Earth, and it has traveled like 25 billion kilometers, not million, billion kilometers. And you know the distance between the Earth and the Sun. So it has traveled 125 times that. So it has traveled 125 times the distance of Earth and Sun. Sun is a star, very small. You can see it's very big, but it looks very small. It's so much far away. Okay, so you can see like the amount of technology that's been existing since now, and also we are like we can't even begin to understand how this happened. I mean, like how it is still working, how the battery is being powered, how it is being propelled. We can't even think about it being in 2025, but these people created things in 1960s 70s that even can't think about. So I'm trying to show you the opportunity in the technology here. Okay, so we are far behind rest of the world. Our region is mostly far behind rest of the world, but what I'm trying to say is the gap we have, that we can fill, and the opportunities we have because of these things. And also, like if you see, like you have heard about artificial intelligence and chat GPT these days. So these things started in 1950s. Actually, 1956, artificial intelligence was coined as a term, and then since then there have been researches going on like for these 75 years. And on 2000, around 2020s, we got chat models that can do very well. Okay, so there's like a lot of thing happening and there's a lot of space in this field. Okay, if you think about quantum computing, this is also something like extraordinary, like something so sophisticated that world has never seen anything like this before. So this started in 80s and it is not yet complete. Like people are still researching. It might take another 10-20 years for something tangible to come out. Um, and okay, and even in Sri Lanka, like in 1985, they started the computer science faculty. Okay, so I being in the computer field for like 10 years, even I understand like what they might have been doing in 1985, because um, we know the computers and these Windows started in 95 and 85. I really doubted even Sri Lanka had computers, but there were computer science departments and everything. So I'm talking that there were like a lot of computing and things happening so far. So this shows like how much space and how much opportunities we have ahead of us. Okay, so the gap in the technology in our region is our opportunity. Okay, so that's my main thing before starting the presentation. like how much far behind we are and how much catch up we can do. Okay. Um, so getting into the topic, like information technology. Okay. So you all are here for the career guidance for IT. And so like we have a lot of careers, as you all know. IT is not the one. I'm just here to say about IT, but it's not the only career that you can opt for. Sorry. For example, you have like in the field of education, you can do a lot, and agriculture and transport and these logistic fields are booming up these days, and hospitality. Everything is like proper degrees available for all of these days, law, healthcare, everything. So I advise all of you to have a proper idea of what you are going to pursue. Like for example, if you are if you are like half-hearted in IT, um, I would suggest you, if not IT, what you will choose. Like, if I'm not going to do IT, I will be doing healthcare. If you think you can take both the healthcare and the IT, and you can weigh in all the parameters. Like, for example, you can compare the amount cost that you are going to incur doing the degree, and you can think about how much you are going to earn after that, and you can think about the happiness that you will get in that both fields to find out which one you are going to pursue. Okay. So before starting the IT, I would like to tell you that like you have to be very sure of why you are choosing IT. If you have other interests, you have to properly write down both interest, the IT interest and the other interest, and come to a conclusion before diving into this. Okay. Because all the fields have opportunities. um, okay, that's what I wanted to say before, because the presentation in the next few items will be like boasting about the IT field. So I'm beforehand I'm telling you all that what possible other fields are there and all. Okay. So if we get into the IT, like all of us are all of us are always thinking about the opportunities, right? Whenever you want to go to a new career, you are thinking about the opportunity, whether I will have the opportunity there or not. So in this case, if you take, for example, I'm just showing some accounting stuff. So if you take accounting, like maybe 10, 15 years before, whatever 10 accountants did, now only 5 accountants are needed, maybe. Because like there's a lot of softwares that help the accountant to do their day-to-day works in an efficient and easy manner. So like if you see 10 people, 10 accountants, now only 5 is needed. Okay. So the thing here is 5 accountants lost the job, but you would see 2 software engineers are needed to build this software. Okay, so what I'm telling, the lost jobs are being compensated in the software field mostly. So all of the fields that we make the softwares for, um, like for example in this accountancy field, earlier like 10 people used to do, now only 5 people are doing it. But like we will need 2 extra software engineers to maintain these softwares and build these softwares and bring on new features. Okay. So similarly, like everything, like if you take about agriculture also, like things are becoming far better uh, with the technology, intervention of the technology. For example, it becomes very much resilience to the climate change. Like you can use drones to spray um, fertilizer and pesticides and all. Like you can do a lot of thing with the technology. So wherever the technology is coming, there's opportunity for us. And for example, in terms of education, if you see in the last 4 5 years after the break of corona, we are seeing like things are moving so much into this online mode of teaching and learning. So but if you see this Zoom now, I don't know what, if you, even if you guys are in the call or not, if you guys are paying attention or not, like there's a lot of gap in learning and teaching through online. So these things are being researched and fixed in new softwares. Okay. So there's a lot of opportunity. And this last picture, the fourth one, is like from my neighborhood here. So this is like a pharmacy. Okay. So if you see, the medicine are stacked in the cupboard, but there won't be much pharmacist working here. There's only 1 or 2 that can assist all of the request, because there'll be a robotic arm behind the shelf that will pick up the medicine based on your prescription and put it on the counter. Like it will automatically be accumulated. If I have 5 medicine prescribed, it will automatically be accumulated in the counter one. So the job of the pharmacist is to verify if it is correct or not. Okay, but rest of the things will be done by these robots and stuff. So what I'm telling here is mostly sometimes, although it feels like robotics, there's a lot of software work and IT work that needs to be done here. Like, so where the medicine is stored, there should be a website to check if the medicines are in stock. Everywhere there's like a lot of need for softwares. Okay, so that's where we start. Like, that's where even your career starts. We have a lot of opportunity in every field. I have just taken 4 examples here, but from every field, things are becoming digitalized and computerized. So there's a lot of opportunity for us. Okay, so nature of IT is usually this part of the world, this part of the time frame in the world. Sorry, there's a lot of demand, like locally and internationally. Okay, this I don't need to explain, I think, because we all know like a lot of people get placed in the overseas easily, overseas jobs easily, in Europe and Middle East and Singapore, everywhere people can get placed in jobs very easily due to the demand. And also even locally, there's a lot of companies. We will come to that local part in a while. And also flexible working style. So you would have seen, you will have colleagues or your siblings who are working in IT. So it's flexible. In some cases, for example, in my case, I don't have flexible working hours, but most of the places they offer flexible working hours. Like they can work from home. Maybe they might need to go to office only 2 days. So 3 days they can stay home. So there's a lot of work from home culture coming up. So this is interesting for people because they can have home cooked food, they can have a healthy lifestyle, they can be with the family, and things are better with that. Okay, and so there's a thing. There's a problem also, which is like continuous learning in IT. So we will come to that. We have a separate slide for that. We will come to that. Okay. So it's the nature. Continuous learning is the nature in IT. Okay, and so there's a confusion. So I would like to address that confusion first. So most people ask me like there's Bachelor of IT, there's computer science and engineering, there's software engineering. There's a lot of names in the market. Like for example, some I think University of Kelaniya has software engineering, Moratuwa has computer science, Colombo University has computer science, as far as I remember, and Bachelor of IT is there in Slate and Moratuwa and everywhere. So what I'm telling is like people ask like what is good, what is not good, and all. So the names doesn't matter much. Like all of this is equal. Um, in terms of your expertise that you're going to end after the degree. Okay, this has really differences, but it doesn't matter. Okay, it doesn't matter much. There are a lot of things that matters. We will come to those in the slides. This doesn't matter much. For example, if you take Bachelor of IT, it will be like a full thing. Like for example, you'll have a broader skill set. Almost all the aspect of IT will be covered in shallow. Like for example, networking, database, and coding, everything will be like covered. So to the extent that we can cover in the 4 years. Okay, not deep into the networking, but everything will be covered. Okay, and if you think about software engineering, it's like mostly like software development only. So you will not study much about networking, but just building the software and managing the project. But for example, a software is a project, so managing that project, how to do that and how to get it done, and how to test the software, because there will be bugs and all, so we will be testing. So so those um, test related things we will learn. And if you take computer science, it's like more theoretical. Okay, you might not need you might not be taught like Java or JavaScript specifically as a language, but you might be taught how programming languages are created, how programming languages works, how the computer is built, how the operating system works. So they will be explaining the data science and algorithms and the very basic stuff they will explain. But on top of that, you have to build your skills. Okay. Um, so for example, IT will be more skill based, computer science will be more theoretical based. Okay. But what I'm telling is like if you graduate in out of any, it doesn't matter. Okay, you will know the stuff. Okay, and probably computer science will be more suited for what do you call academics. Okay, like if you are going to do masters and uh, PhD in that path. Okay, academic path. Okay, this is like one confusion. Another confusion people always ask is the three-year degree and 4-year degree. This is also like this is not a big matter. Okay, like for example, most countries are okay with 3 years. Some countries actually are reluctant about 4-year degrees when you are trying for overseas career. Sorry, and some degrees are like 3 years is called
But
general
this one
degree,
no
and
sound.
you can specialize. Um, you can specialize for the 4th year. So um, I'm not sure if somebody asked a question. Maybe that's a mistake. Okay. So usually 4-year degrees will have an internship portion. So you will have to go to internship and work. And it will have a very extensive final year project. And for those who are choosing academic field, 4-year degrees are very much valuable. Okay, so this is like, so what I'm trying to
Don't
say
change
in both
anything. Sri
slides,
Lanka
okay,
better.
this slide and the other slide,
Wi-Fi upset.
you don't need to worry much. What you need to worry is, I will explain to you. There's a lot of things that you need to worry, not this one. So here, these two things you can choose, like the payment, based on the payment, based on the time you have, okay? Um and the opportunity you have. For example, the campus near to you might not have a 4-year degree, or the campus near to you might not have computer science. So you can choose accordingly, okay? What matters is like we will come to that, okay? In next few slides, we will have that. So I'm just on this I got somewhere from internet. So we have a lot of pathways in IT. So although we just call career in IT, it will have a lot of things. Like for example, the person you know who works in IT and the person I know who works in IT will be having different. Uh, Let me mute. I don't know if I can mute. Zaid, can you mute the participants? Okay. So uh, so here, back to the topic. So here, so in IT, the things vary so much. So for example, my friend, what he does is like system administration. I do software development. So it's like a totally like a different field. Sometimes he might not know what I do, and I don't know what he does. Okay, so things are very much different. So there's a lot of field. Okay, so this is like a high level idea. Okay, there's a lot of things. So but just in the next slide, we will just see main pathways that we have, like what is like famous these days. Okay, for example, software development. Like, so all of you, most of us, when we finish the degree, mostly we end up in the software development. Like when you finish one of the degrees, you will mostly end up in software development. You will be building websites, or you will be building mobile apps, or things like that. Okay, uh, like if you take 100 people, like 40-50 people will go to these only. And then we have cybersecurity. That is also a very interesting field, where like we protect the internet and our computers from the security threats. Because like now everything is moving towards IT. Everyone is digitalizing. The need for cybersecurity is high, because like nothing should be compromised. Your password should be safe. So as a software developer, we don't know much about cybersecurity. So we need a cybersecurity expert in our team to understand like whatever we are doing is correct or not. Okay. And we have data science and AI. Like for example, now these days, data is there's so much data in the world. Like if you compare olden days, we didn't have much data on the internet. So as the world grows by, so we have like tons of data. Like for example, if you go to YouTube, you can see, search, and learn anything. We have all our Facebook feeds, WhatsApp feeds, and all the sensors producing data, all the satellites images, satellite GPS locations. Like we have thousands of millions, billions of data, trillions of data. So we need a separate science to figure out the data. Okay, so we have data science that is booming these days, and AI needs a lot of data. So AI and data science are usually together. And we have cloud computing. Before like 2015 and all, people have had their own servers. Okay, big companies had their own servers located in their company. Now people are using the servers of AWS or Amazon, Google. Like big companies are offering the servers, and we will be using their servers. So that is the start of like cloud computing. So everyone is into cloud computing these days, like after 2015. This is also a booming field. And we have network. This has been there for a very long time, network and system administration and these things. Um, so there's mostly degree for each of these. Like if you even check for private campus, you will have networking um, degree, 4-year degree in networking. Um, and if you think about UI UX, that is like user interface and user experience, this is also very prominent these days. Like for example, if you take an app like WhatsApp or Facebook or most of the app, nobody teaches you how to use it. Okay, you automatically know how to use it. Like when you open the app, it will guide you nicely, and it's very intuitive. Now after some time, like WhatsApp is anything like you write in a pen and a paper, right? It's so much you are used to it. So that's where the UI UX comes in, user experience. Because like unlike olden days, now people are thinking so much on how the software should be designed, how it should be easy for the users to use, and such stuff. So those things come under UI UX. Okay, mainly the designing and the experience part. And we have like business analysts. Like for example, I'm a software developer, so I might not be able to communicate with the person who wants a software. Let's say some business wants a software, and I need to that person needs to explain me how the software should be, and I have to develop that. So there's a gap here. Sometimes the software developers doesn't know the business, so business people doesn't know the software. So sorry. So there's a gap in the sense like people don't whatever he says I might not understand, whatever I say he might not understand. So there's the people business analysts, they will know both the sides to some extent. Okay, sorry. um, so these business analysts will know some sort of software, a little bit of software, and they will know about the business also. So they will do the communication between us and the business. So business analysts, this project management are also less technical fields, but software knowledge is important. Okay, so there are and we have very important part is quality engineers, like those who test the software. Okay, so I will be developing a software, like I will have 10 colleagues who are developing, and we will have like 3 4 quality engineers who will check the software like every day when we develop. Okay, so there are like these are the major pathways we have these days. Okay, so most of these have separate course. For example, you can do a degree in cybersecurity. Okay, uh, normal IT courses, you can end up in any of these, okay, depending on the chances and internship opportunity you get. Okay. Uh, and there is like one very interesting fact is like it depends on your first job mostly. So you will do some degree, you will be doing software engineering somewhere, and then if you get a first job, usually in data science, you will probably be traveling in the data science. Okay. So most of the
Yeah.
things depends on the first job. Okay.
Excuse me. There's a question from Murad
Okay.
asking, is business analysis and data analysis same or different?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's an interesting question. So it's like totally different. Okay. So that's the thing. Data analysis and business analysis is totally different. So business analysis is like so much like probably that might have some sort of similarity, but totally different domain. Okay. Uh, business analysis, like for example, hospital needs to build a software and they explain me. Okay, they explain me about the software, uh, but I might not be able to understand. They will also not understand what is a button, what is a text box. They might also not know. So if I tell, okay, do you need a text box, they will not know what is a text box. So business analysts will sit with them and get their ideas of what they need, and they will discuss with us. They will go back and forth. Okay, because as software developers, we want to sit and work. So that communication sometimes mostly the software developers lack. So business analysts will have a lot of communication skill, they will do it. So in data analysis, it's totally different. Data science and data analysis are like partly the same. I mean, like when you're expert, you will become a data scientist. Okay, data analysis starting with so in data analysis, it's mostly like you don't have a business that you talk to, you will have a data that you talk to. You will have a big amount of data. That's also like a business, right? You will have a lot of data and you will have to make sense out of it. So let's say you will have in this case, you will have a big hospital database. So you will have a big database of millions of records. As an analyst, you will be going through the data, you will find out patterns in the data, you will find out how many tables are there and how you can load this data to your server and those things. Okay, so there's like query languages, SQL, sequential query language, and those things you will be using to analyze the data. Okay, so that is like that is the difference. Okay, and to some extent now, for example, in my previous company, we had a job title called cultural interpreter. Okay, because we were working for a US company and we were working from Sri Lanka, and we don't know the culture in US. So there was a job title called cultural interpreter. So that person knows the culture of US, but that person doesn't know much about the software. Okay, we don't know the culture of US, but we know about the software. So that collaboration comes into being. Okay, so all of those comes under business analysis part only. Okay, so there's like a lot of features. Like sometimes if you are not so good at development, you can go through project management, business analysis side also in the IT career. Okay. Mm, yeah. So yeah, we'll go to the next one now. Um, okay. So choices, like you will choose, right? You will choose this. Give me a second. So you will choose IT. If you any choice that you take currently in your career, you will have consequences. Okay, you will have to face some challenges. For example, now currently what I see is like there's a bit of a hassle with internship. A lot of my friends and even my sibling had a very tough time with the internship. So internship is a problem currently these days, but like I didn't see this like when I started in 2017 or even recently. People had a lot of chances. Okay, but in the last 1 or 2 years we have a terrible time with the internship, but still people can find. Okay, but still people are getting internships and they're going. Okay, what amounts to internship we will talk in the next slide, but there's a problem with the internship. Maybe you guys will finish the degree in 4 years. By that time, the internship problem will be resolved. Okay, things will be in equilibrium, and the internship problem will be resolved. Um, because internship is the entrance. Any job that you go to, they will ask if you have experience. To get a experience, you need internship. Okay, but it's not difficult. It's not like impossible task. You can try. You can try so much, and it's not that nobody is getting internship. It's not like that. Like people are getting internship and they are getting into the career and everything. But these days it's little tough. You know the markets, right? Sometimes the market is dim, market is bad. So I think these times internship market is less. Okay, and if you okay, this is like the main consequence. Like even like when you grow 30 plus, you will have these things. um, the thing is like with the health, because like you are going to sit 8-10 hours in your degree and after that in your work. So like when you sit for 20 years straight, you are done. Okay, so one doctor was telling me it's as bad as smoking 5 cigarettes a day to the heart. Okay, so you have to, if you are maintaining already a physically active lifestyle, try to maintain it. Like for example, in my case, I stopped playing football at a point, and um, it's bad. It's having bad impact. So if you have some thing that you are doing, continue that. Okay, and mainly the posture. With the laptops it's very tough. Okay, because laptops you will always have to crouch. In the crouch position only you will always use. So always make sure you have extra keyboard and a mouse, which is like a 200-300 rupees, and extend it, and you can sit properly, and a good chair, and you can keep the laptop on top of something. Okay, these consequences you have. So I'm just bringing up the bad side at the start of this presentation, because like you don't need to go home with this bad side. Okay, I want to show you the good side at the last. So otherwise this will be on your head throughout. So I'm just telling you the bad side initially, but keep this in your mind. Okay. um, and fast change, we already saw this in another slide. Okay, fast change, this is like a terrible thing for some people. uh, so there's like um, erupting new technologies every day. Okay, every day there will be new technologies. The things that we did 10 years before will be invalid now. um, so this is one of the biggest um, biggest tough time for some people. Okay, I don't know the correct word to use. It will be a tough time for some people because you have to learn. Like for example, now for example, in my case, I started in 2017. I started with a technology that was like very young, like a technology that started in 2015. Okay, it was a young technology, so I got jobs and I got like foreign offers. Like it was very nice because you could easily get foreign offers because the technology was new. There were no much people in the world doing that. Now 2025, 10 years, 8 years after into the career, I can't switch jobs. Okay, there's like two things. One is that technology is now old. There's now better technology. Okay, that is one thing. And the other important thing is like in this 10 years, everyone, there's millions of people who knows that technology now. Okay, there's already everyone knows that technology. So I cannot switch to a job with a good pay now. Okay, so what I have to do is I have to jump to a new career. Now, for example, I am doing masters in a different field, um, in IT only, uh, to switch. Okay, so this happens like even my architect in 2017 when I joined the job, he told me his experience was the same. Okay, he was like at his 37, he switched his to some other technology. He was doing C++, and he took a big shift with JavaScript. Okay, so things change, the world change. Okay, so in every field it will change. Okay, for example, MRI scanners in this, there'll be CT scanners, MRI scanners, X-rays. So if you take X-ray will be very prominent all days. Now MRI scans are there in the healthcare field. But it's I think it's not as much as the IT field, the other fields are experiencing. In IT field, it's like drastic change, so much fast change. Okay, so you should be ready for this. Um, it's not very hard. It's not very hard. Everyone is battling through this, and it's not very hard. Uh, we- so the bottom line is that you should have the urge to learn always. Okay, and this is more in foreign companies, like foreign, not in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is like more empathetic towards employees, but outside Sri Lanka, there might be layoffs. Like, for example, Microsoft might lay off 3,000 people at once, and it might be at random also. Sorry. Because like they might have already 2 lakhs of employees, and in that 3,000 will be a small thing. Um, this points to the same thing as fast change. Like for example, since the things are very fast, if the Microsoft wants to build a new thing, or a big company wants to build a new thing, they will recruit like 1,000 people to do that. And halfway through they will feel, okay, this is not working out, and then they will just fire these people. Okay, so there's this culture. But because we have a lot of jobs in IT and there's a demand, you can always find another job, but this is very rare in Sri Lanka, very 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 rare. Okay, uh, outside this is little bit of a thing. Okay, and overseas jobs. So this is like a good part. Okay, so you have, once you do the degree, you have a lot of potential to jump to overseas if you like. Even in Sri Lanka, you can have a very nice life, because the pay and all is good these days. So you can have a beautiful life, and also if you want to try yourself in overseas like Middle East or Europe or US, you can go. Like a lot of my friends are there. Like for example, we had like 125 people in my batch, and currently 15 is in Australia. Okay, so it's like that. So it's sort of similar to other fields. Other fields also you can go, but not as much as IT, because in IT everything is integrated online. So it's like a global thing. Like so you can easily find a remote job, or you can go to somewhere else. Okay. Um, okay, and okay, now we were talking about like 3-year degree or 4-year degree, right? And we were talking about the name of the course. So more than that, these things are so important. Like communication is so important. Your English is so important. Okay. Maybe choosing between the name of the course, if it is computer science or software engineer, doesn't make doesn't um, constitute to your output as much as this. Okay, maybe this is like 10 times, 100 times important, the communication and English. Okay, since most of the courses will be offered in English, and also the materials you find online will be English, so you have to improve your English so much. Okay, we are all not native English speakers, so we will have problems here and there, but it's okay. But you should be able to express what you want to tell, and you should be able to understand what others are saying. Okay, so English is very important, and communication as a whole is so important because uh, let's say now currently we are working on a mobile app at my workplace, so at least like 100 people are working. So it's like a very big gap, so a lot of people are working. So I'm one in 100 in a team. So the teamwork is really, really important. Teamwork. I should be able to convey what I want to convey to somebody. and he will tell me that it's not his problem, then I have to explain again. So this communication is so important. Okay, expressing the problem or the issues you have to another person, or the concept explaining to another person. So this communication is really, really important. So you should be able to express yourself properly. Okay, so this is really important. Like, think about it. If you want to get into a job, the interview process, you will have the interview process will be totally measured by your communication skill, right? So you should be able to communicate properly. uh, this matters more than anything, okay, in this field, because a lot of teamwork is important. So with all these slides, what I can tell you is, one thing is curiosity. You should always have the um, learning enthusiasm always. Like, you should be able to you should always keep exploring new technologies and all. Okay, and then resilience, because this field is like always changing, and you will learn new things, then you will fail, then you will learn again. So this resilience is also important. And the third one is like the really important one, teamwork. I already told you, like, a lot of teamwork is needed. You can't just work on your own, because like 100 people will work in one project, at least 10, 3, 5 people will work. You will mostly not work alone, uh, because there's a lot of disciplines, as I showed you previously. Cybersecurity guy, yourself, networking guy, database guy, everyone together have to build the software. So you have a lot of teamwork. Okay, so you should be able to understand others, empathize with others, and everything. And the last thing is like very important, is ethics. Like, we all know, like, we should not use technology to harm others. We should always use it in a positive way. Okay, and okay, let's say you are starting the course next month, or you have already started. The best way to learn is to work on something. Okay, so just start. Okay, just start. Never watch a YouTube video just like that. Always, like, he will say something, right? Do that and see. So from the day one itself, you can think of, okay, some software that you need to build. Let's say your dad is doing business, you can make him a small software. He has a lot of check. If you want to organize his checks, you can build a small software. So if you need to build a small mobile app to remind you with something, you can build a small software. Okay. If you want to convert the currency, you can build a software. So what I'm telling is, like, build something, build very, very small something, then you will start understanding better. Don't rely on lectures and videos. Okay, always try your part. Now, even in my case, I was like building something from the beginning, like using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. I always did it from the beginning, so you understand the full picture of the technology. Okay, that is one thing very important. And also, you can participate in the competitions. There'll be competitions hosted by campus and companies throughout the year, so you can join. So this will give you exposure to code, and the very important thing is networking. You will get to know the company people, you will get to know other people, you will get to know what other people are doing, you will get to know other people's capacity. That way you will understand where you are standing. Okay, and also you will get to meet a lot of people and all. Okay, it's about this. Like, for all these 13 years at school, you would have gone through the same syllabus. Every 1,000 people in your school, same syllabus, same exam, everything is same. But now onwards, the world is different. Each of you have millions of things that you can do. Okay, so now the world is out for competition. Okay, so you can do anything. Okay, you can do anything to win. Okay, earlier it was not like that. You already had a math book, you had a science book, that is what you had to master to get the good marks. Now it's not like that. So you can do anything to win. Okay, there's a lot of positive and nice ways to win, so you have to try everything that you can. Okay, and events and meetup. So this is a pretty interesting one. So IT companies, like a lot of IT companies in my campus time also, I go to IT companies. They will do sessions. Okay, they will have like a JavaScript meetup or PHP session, like that. They will, for each technology, they will have a session. So you can follow their pages on their Facebook or online presence, and you can join their courses. Okay, join their meetups. This will be mostly free, and it will happen in the company's environment, so you can go to the company and see how the things are happening. It's very good for the exposure. And also you have like online meetups also. You can do all of that, and always be in touch. Okay, meet people, and those things are also very important. And get certified. So you have like a lot of courses, like free courses in online. There's a lot of things that you can do. So data science professional certificate, Google's AI certificate like for free. Like you can do these things, small courses online um, uh, to keep you in track. Okay, these things like you don't need to do any of this. You don't need to build yourself. You don't need to get certified. You don't need to do any of this to finish your course. Okay, but all of these things resonates your passion. Okay, it's passion towards this technology and this field. So you should be always interested, and you should be lovingly attached to this field. Okay, you should know new things. You should always explore. Okay, okay. So these things are very important. So like these 4 5 items, you can always try so that you will be like you will you can improve in the field. Okay, so these things are side things, but these are very important. And there's a lot of courses. I don't want to go into each of that, so so now here, so there's like government courses and private courses. Okay, now I explained to you whether the 3 year degree is important or what name is important and everything. So now you have to, it's your turn. Like I can't tell you which campus is better, which campus, which course is better for you, because there's a lot of different variety of 40 people here. So what I can tell you is now whatever I told you, with all those reflection, you can call these people. Like for example, you can call Slate, NSBM, ICBT, you can call these people and ask for the course, like what course they have. And you can select with your budget and with your proximity and distance and everything. You can choose what you like. For example, if you choose one campus, they might have 5 10 courses, cybersecurity separately, and each of them separately, software engineering separately, IT separately, like that. So you can choose whatever you like. So based on the input that I gave you, okay? So so I'm not going to go into which course is better, which university is better, because there's nothing such. Okay, and here also the same thing. It doesn't matter. Now, for example, I graduated from University of Morocco. My friend and cousins graduated from SLIT, and some from ESOFT. And it doesn't matter. No, at after maybe first job, sometimes in Sri Lanka they might prefer Morocco, but if you go out, nobody knows Morocco if you go out of the country. Um, and Even the courses, like after first job, they will not even ask sometimes where you studied. They will always see what experience you have after the first job. So these things matter less. Okay, what matters is your communication and whether you can do the job or not. Okay, whether you have the passion, whether you have the learning capacity, those things matters so much. Even in my interview, in my first job interview, they asked me some technologies. I said I don't know, but they asked me like some stuff, so, okay, to check my learning capacity. So what matters is the learning capacity, and whatever you know already, and your communication. Those things matters the most. Okay, so you can choose the rest of the things accordingly, like which whatever you can with your limited resources. Okay. um, and there are a lot of things you can learn. Okay, in YouTube you can learn anything. You have Udemy, and you have all the courses online. You have boot camp, and you have code academy, and you have a lot of things like that. I will just show you one very easy thing that I have seen. Okay, so there is something called code academy, some website. Okay, this is very simple. I'll just show you how it operates. Okay, it's very simple. Like for example, like if you want to learn the code, and this is free also, to some extent it's free. So there's 3 sections here. One section is some description and the code and the output. Okay, so here they will explain you explain you the concept. Okay, they will explain you the concept, and they will have a question at the end. So they are telling to do this. So when you read this whole paragraph, you will understand what they are trying to say. Okay, after that you will do this question, and you will put the code here, and you will run. Okay, then it will show the output, and you are passed. You can go to the next step. So here it's very interactive. It will tell you if you make a problem. Now it goes to the next step, and it is explaining you something else, another topic. Okay, so these are very interactive, and this has been there, I think, maybe 10 years, maybe. I remember using this very long ago. I think it's better now. There's more courses here, and there'll be even better tools, a lot of softwares, even better softwares. So what I'm telling is, there's a lot of things like this. Remember when I told you about the Voyager 1 and the artificial intelligence being started in 1950s and 70s? They did all of that without these softwares and without these helps, without ChatGPT, without any of this help. Only those things happened. Okay, now with all of these things, with all of these new technologies, all of these things, all of these places to learn fast, we can do a lot of magic. Okay, you can learn a lot faster, you can do a lot of change in the world. Okay, so keep it in your mind to learn actively in the process of your degree. Okay, that's all from me. So I think we had only one question. So if any of you have questions, you can point out. I think
Yeah,
there's a few.
I think we have 5 questions in the queue. So from Fatima, she's asking, in the IT field, is a GPA important?
Okay. Yeah, so it's a tough question actually. Yeah, it's sometimes important, especially important when you want to do higher studies. Like for example, I don't have a first class. Um, Now I'm doing masters, but if I had a first class, I could have done something better. Sometimes, if I had a first class, sometimes I might get scholarship for masters, things like that. So, totally, if you are into academic field, masters, uh, GPA is very important. But other than that, you have to maintain a decent one. At least second lower, second upper is better. Don't go very lower, but because like it reflects your if capacity, right? Um, uh, you don't need to be first class at least. You don't need to be first class, but um, the things, for example, in your sometimes the lectures are boring, so that subject you will get less results. That is like the practical problem we have, right? Sometimes the lecture is boring, so you missed a few lectures and you didn't understand, so it's sometimes it's like that. But like let's say you like cloud computing, okay, but you got good results in that. Some other subject you got less results, because of that your GPA is going down. Then what you can do is to bridge that gap. You can do some cloud computing certifications in AWS or something. So while you are preparing for your interview, okay. So that way, you have um, you have something to compensate for the GPA. So you can tell these people, okay, I have done this certification. I'm so much interested in cloud computing. You can be even open. This subject I didn't like. I lost the results in that. Okay. So GPA is important. You can say important, but there are things that you can compensate, okay, for the GPA. Mainly important for the academics. I hope I answered the question. Um,
Okay, we have another question.
yeah,
In coming days, software developers' positions will be reduced. Now, AI-related softwares do this work. Social media
yeah,
trends
yeah.
topics nowadays. Is it true? Your opinion about
Yeah,
this?
it's a nice thing. It's a nice thing. Okay, even I am afraid even my job will go away. Okay. Um, what I'm this thing is true. This thing is true. Okay. I have a nice analogy for this. In early days, these trains run on coal, right? It's coal engine. So when the train runs on coal engine, um, so the engine becomes two times efficient. Okay, they build a new engine that is two times efficient. Then the people thought the coal will be less used because like the engine is two times efficient, so you don't need much coal to run the engine. Okay, so people thought, okay, we don't need much coal hereafter. The fuel we don't need much hereafter because we have a super efficient engine. So um, they thought like that, but it reversed. It was other way around. They needed more coal even if the engine was efficient, because everyone started using the steam engine. Okay, it's like that. So sometimes same with the car. When they thought by highways the traffic will reduce, once they created the highway, everyone started using the car, things like that. Now here also, jobs will reduce. That's what we think. Okay, so actually we don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I feel everyone will start adapting to the software. Every small shop, every business will start adapting to software, and everything will become digitalized. So at that point, we all will need a lot of software and a lot of software engineers to maintain. Okay. Um, like I told you in the example, like accountants being replaced, the capacity, the accountants with good capacity will remain. Those who don't know to do the job will be replaced mostly. So here also the software developers with less skills, like they don't know much about what's happening. So, they know only briefly some items. They will have a problem. but those who know the stuff um, will remain. Okay. So what I think is like with this AI advancement in AI, there'll be more software in the world. So more software means more software developers are needed. And also half of the software developers will be developing AI. Okay. Although you have ChatGPT already, that's not enough to do anything. Like for example, um, we do chat, but we didn't see any like bigger products out of that, right? Because there's a lot of gap. There's a lot of gap for different languages. You need different AI for different field. You need a different AI. There's a lot of things that's being researched, and so a lot of software engineers will switch to AI field and all, and then software engineers will be reduced. So there'll be a vacancy for them. It will go on. That's what I think. Okay. Now, for example, I am also doing masters in AI because it's like 8-10 years now, so I am also trying to shift. So anyway, it's a part of this IT ecosystem, right? Um, so being AI engineer or being a software engineer is like the same domain only in broader scale. So my opinion is like I think the software jobs will stay, but those who don't know stuffs will be replaced. They will not have a chance. Those who don't know much stuff. So the best part here is you have to use the AI. You have to use AI as much as you can to streamline your work, do things faster. Okay, to learn faster. Okay. Next question is.
Yeah, there is a similar question from Amna. So, what is your advice to the students on the accounting field? Do they need to shift their career path, or is there any specific skills that they need to develop to cope up with AI?
Okay, that is a very tough question because I don't know about you because accounting field is also good. Like, uh, so one of my friend, he got a job in London from he was in Dubai, a Sri Lankan boy. So it happens. So it happens means like all the fields are good as long as you have the capacity. Um, yeah, but for this exact question, I don't know the answer for a fact because it totally depends on you. Like uh, there's still opportunity in accounting in all the fields, pharmacology, healthcare, logistics, everywhere people are needed. Okay. As much as software engineering, the others are also needed. Actually, at that current time, software engineering is saturated also, like too many people also. Every field is needed. I don't think like if you are already pursuing in accounting, um, if you're already pursuing accounting, you don't need to switch. If you don't like the accounting field, you can think about it. But if you like and if you're good at it, no need to switch. Uh, who is system analyst? I actually don't know the exact thing about system analyst. Uh, what I think is it is sort of uh, same as a business analyst or little more technical. Okay. I think little more technical than business analyst, system analyst is okay. Um, Currently pursuing a degree in finance. I want to learn software engineering. By learning certificate is possible to get hired this way. Um, uh, Self-learning and certificate, is it possible to get hired? It will be sometimes tough these days because these days already there's no internship. Okay. Um, but there are my friends who work who do freelancing. Like if you learn some technology, you can do the job online also to get experience. Okay, online you can do some freelancer jobs to get your experience and then apply for jobs. Okay, these are like very tough and tough question and specific. Like if you know the things so well, you can join. um, and if you know contacts, if you have somebody working in a company that can offer a job and all, you can start. It's totally possible that you learn software engineering, but sometimes getting placed might be tricky. Getting job might be tricky. So you can try your best, try all the leads you have, all the friends you have, something like that. Little tough only because like there are a lot of people with a degree already, right? Uh, you can learn for sure. Getting hired is little doubtful. Um, okay. But still, if you have some connections, if somebody wants to hire you, you can, okay? Or else you can do a very small course like a 1 year diploma or 2 years like HND, high national diploma. So those things is possible, right? Maybe you can try for a diploma and then go for the job. Okay. How to find a job in foreign country? How to get the fake job vacancies? Who? Okay. So job is like usually fake. How to find fake jobs is the main thing. They will ask money. So if they ask money, it's mostly fake. Okay. Because if somebody is getting a job, they will not ask money. For example, if a third party person is taking me to a job in somewhere big company, so that big company will pay him. He will not expect from me. At least he will expect from me after the first salary if he's genuine. Okay. So some people ask you money outright beforehand, so that means it's mostly fake. Okay. Um, Foreign country, there are websites like even I got the current job using LinkedIn. Okay. So you have to keep your LinkedIn profile up to date so much. Um, um, you can even change the location sometimes if you visit. Like for example, I visited Singapore, so I changed the location, and I also visited Dubai once, so I changed the location. So then when you are searching, you will come listed in their search. Okay. And also um, LinkedIn is very important. Like you have to make it like very proper. Your description should be very proper. You have to have it updated all, and you have to connect to a lot of people. Like if you want a job in like Dubai, you have to um, search in LinkedIn like recruiters in Dubai and connect with them, and some software engineers in Dubai and connect with them. So it's about a network, right? Like if some Dubai person searches for a software engineer, the probability of I'm getting listed depends on how many people I know in Dubai and all. Okay. So if you want to go to Sweden or something, just try a lot of get connected to a lot of people in Sweden, try to participate in some online events, uh, and then make your presence there. Okay. Make your online presence there. So when somebody searches, you will come in the list. Okay. Um, so that's how you do it. That's how I did it. A lot of my friends also got it. Okay. Um, Microsoft AI specialist. Yeah, in Microsoft and big places, it gets people get laid off very easily. So one of my friend, even my brother is in Amazon. So they are telling like even layoffs are not based on performance. It's just random. So sometimes to cost cut and all, they just to make it efficient and all, people lay off. Sometimes people say it's to maintain the demand of the company and all. So, but it happens. Okay. If we apply some office jobs or any other jobs, they ask experience. So can you specify what kind of? Okay, so you can look for internships. Okay, you can look for internships first. Okay, the question here is the companies are asking for experience when you go for. Okay, so it's a very tricky one. You need experience to get the job. If you have the job only, you can have experience. So it's a very tricky one. Um, so you can do some personal project of yours, so you have to crack the interview somehow, so you have to make that guy believe that you can do the job. Okay, so it's a separate topic. You can just focus on facing interviews and all. Okay. um, it's that mainly, and you can do some online projects in Fiverr or Upwork or such platforms. You can do some online jobs and get you experience. uh, I am in second year of my B.Sc IT. What advice do you have for me? Yeah. So the advice for the second year people, okay, it's the same person. Okay, yeah. So you can do this certification. So by now, if you are in the second year, you might know like what to do, what sort of interest you have, like it's cloud computing or mobile development, web development, security. So you can do some certifications in between. You have to always watch YouTube videos, what's happening in that field and all. Okay. So when you go to interview, you should look passionate. In the interview, you should look passionate. You should feel, the guy should feel like you are made for IT, then he will recruit you easily. Okay, I have HND IT. Can we choose any other course other than BIT as a top option? Can we choose any other course other than HND IT? Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Like I can tell you what to choose, but this has a big bottleneck. Like okay, this person is asking. This person has HND in IT and want to do a top up degree other than BIT. Okay, I mean BIT. This person means maybe from the Columbia University external. So here you can do actually. You can do, but you have to consult the relevant private colleges. You have to consult private colleges and ask them if they allow the HND of yours, which you already did, to be used as a certificate to for the top-up degree. You have to continue. You have to do this exercise. You have to call all the colleges you have. Other than BIT, you don't have any government. Like in government, you can do BIT in Moratuwa and Columbia University, right? Other than that, I think there's nothing other than BIT in the government setup. Maybe you can try Open University. They might have some options. Uh, yes,
I
Open
think,
University.
excuse me, I think we can take another three questions.
Yeah, that's better because the time is running out.
Yeah,
Yes, Open
because
University. If you have anything nice, tell me. Okay. Okay, how many years of experience you need to work in Dubai? At least, like nobody will recruit you as a fresher because because they pay good money outside the country, right? So they won't experience people. So at least 2 years is needed. Okay, 2 years experience is needed to jump outside the country. Uh, I have. Okay. So Open University software engineering is good or not? Open University, the problem is even my sister did in Open University, but the thing is like you have to be consistent. A lot of people don't finish the course because it's like you don't have a proper sitting setup and you will go to every day and learn and come back. There's no setup like that, right? So some people lose the momentum, lose the grip. So they don't complete it. Okay. So that problem is there with Open University, but there's nothing wrong with that. Okay. Um, okay. Okay. My LinkedIn is Safwan Moha. Okay. Moha for Mohammed. So you can search. Somebody has asked here. Yeah, you can connect, and if you have doubts, you can ask. Um, yeah. So that's it, right? Zaid.
oh yeah,
Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you gain some knowledge from this. Um, so one person is asking, okay, one last question. Okay. I have completed my HND in computing networking. I'm planning to start a top up in cloud computing. Okay, this cloud computing is so good these days. Okay, it's very good. It's nice. Quickly finish the top up and have some certifications, and it's better than software engineering. Okay, it's better than just building software these days because everyone is moving to cloud these days, so you have a lot of opportunity. Even like getting a foreign job will be easy. Okay, good luck. um, Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone. Okay, bye.
okay, yeah. And if you have more questions, you can always put in the group. And yeah, the recording will be provided. And thank you so much, Mr. Safwan, for that powerful and eye-opening session.